This video will demonstrate how to install the WD electronics turn signal lever onto the steering column on Polaris Ranger XD 1500 premium models. Tilt the steering column all the way up. Remove the 4 T25 Torx screws from the bottom half of the steering column shroud. 3 of the fasteners are recessed in the bottom cover, and 1 is in plain view near the tilt lever. Remove the bottom half of the cover. Remove the trim surrounding the instrument cluster. Reach under the front edge of the trim panel, pop out the clips from the bottom, and remove the trim. Remove the 4 plastic push pins, 1 on each corner of the instrument cluster. Lift the cluster out of the dash and locate the connector on the back. Remove this connector by depressing the tab and sliding the connector free. Set the cluster aside. Now, remove the 2 T40 Torx bolts from the rear of the top cover. You may need to tilt the wheel up or down in order to access the 2 bolts for the instrument cluster. Tilt the steering wheel down and remove the top half of the cover. Locate the turn signal lever in your kit and remove the 2 pre-installed gold bolts. Locate the U-shaped bracket and attach the bracket to the column switch as shown, reusing the gold bolts. Tighten them down snug, but do not over-tighten or you risk stripping the threads in the switch. Remove the nut from the right side of the bolt that attaches the tilt piston to the steering column. The U-bracket for the turn signal lever utilizes the same nut and bolt. Install the opening on the mounting bracket over the steering column. You may have to flex the opening on the U slightly to get it to slide over the column. Install the bottom hole on the switch bracket over the bolt for the tilt piston and reinstall the nut on the other side. Make sure the switch is parallel to the face of the steering wheel and tighten it down to secure the bracket. Be careful not to over-torque the nut. For the best looking install, we recommend trimming the 2 halves of the steering column shroud to fit the body of the turn signal lever. The mounting point near the tilt lever needs to be cut off in order for the shroud to fit. The 2 halves of the cover still hold together as intended with the other 3 fasteners. If you don't want to cut the shroud, you may simply leave the shroud removed. Mark the hole in the top half of the steering column cover according to the measurements in your instruction manual. Double check your measurements before trimming any plastic. Carefully trim the hole in the top cover. We recommend starting your cuts slightly inside the lines, test fitting frequently, and adjusting the size of the hole as necessary. Mark the hole in the bottom half of the steering column cover according to the measurements in your instruction manual. Double check your measurements before trimming any plastic. Carefully trim the hole in the cover. We recommend starting your cuts slightly inside the lines, test fitting frequently, and adjusting the size of the hole as necessary. Once you are happy with the fit of the covers, reinstall both halves of the covers using the fasteners you removed earlier. you will have one remaining fastener due to one of the mounting points being trimmed off. Tilt the steering wheel all the way down and route it under the dash, where you will connect it to the WD control module for your turn signal kit. To ask us installation-related questions or to place an order, please visit wdelectronics.com.